Why did founders oppose adding the Bill of Rights? Imagine living in a time when people were worried about the government having too much power. That's what the founders faced when creating the United States Constitution. Some of them thought adding a Bill of Rights was unnecessary. They believed the new government only had the powers listed in the Constitution. If a power wasn't written down, it belonged to the states or the people. So they thought a list of rights wasn't needed because rights were already protected by the structure of the government itself. They also feared that listing specific rights might cause problems. If a right wasn't written down, some might think it wasn't protected at all. This could actually limit freedoms instead of securing them. The founders wanted to avoid giving the impression that the government could infringe on rights not mentioned. They believed that the Constitution's system of checks and balances and separation of powers would prevent the government from overstepping. These auxiliary precautions were seen as better protections than a list of rights. Supporters of the original Constitution, called Federalists, argued that the government structure would keep individual freedoms safe. They thought that dividing power among different branches and creating a system of checks would stop any one part from becoming too powerful. They saw these as protections that didn't need to be written down. Opposing them were the anti-federalists. They worried that a strong national government could threaten personal freedoms. They believed that without a clear list of rights, the government might abuse its power. Their concerns played a big role in pushing for the Bill of Rights to be added later. The debate was about how best to protect individual freedoms. Should rights be guaranteed by the structure of the government or listed explicitly? The answer came when the people demanded clear protections for freedoms like speech, religion, and privacy. This led to the Bill of Rights being added as the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. Knowing this history helps us see why the Bill of Rights exists. It's a clear statement of the freedoms that the government cannot take away. These amendments are there to make sure our rights are protected and understood. Without them, it might be easier for the government to ignore or forget our fundamental freedoms. That's why the founders eventually agreed to add the Bill of Rights, to make sure everyone's rights are written down and protected by law.